Student. Perfect. So before we start, I want to introduce who's going to be joining us in tonight's call because when you talk about Nick Gomez is a person that not only has plenty of experience, over 10 years of experience on the on the markets, trading the markets, on the cryptocurrency markets, but also he's one of the heads of education inside our platform called JIFU, where you're going to learn all the basics, intermediate, advanced information on how to make your portfolio, how to trade the markets, how to take advantage on the different opportunities that we have on the daily basis. So please drop a one in the chat for the special guest that we have tonight from Miami, Mr. Nick Gomez. I'm really grateful to be here with you, Nick. We know your time is really valuable, and we are grateful for your time, for your presence here on tonight's call. So let me know if you can hear me, and I'll give you the co-host as well.
Yeah, totally. Hey, everybody. Super excited to be here. Let me just make sure I could also share screen. I'm super fired up to be with you guys all. How's everybody doing? Good day or good night. Yeah, I'm fired up. Let's get to some crypto. I know that a lot of you guys are here to really learn maybe the basics. Maybe you guys already actively trade crypto or you guys want to learn how to build a portfolio. Today's call will really be just that. You guys have an amazing group of leaders. Shout out to Oscar, Juan Diego, an incredible group of leaders here that really wanted to put this together for every single one of you guys to get educated and to really get guided in what's currently a huge opportunity right now in the cryptocurrency markets. There's so much opportunity. It's really just understanding what to do, where to position yourself, and how you can utilize, if you're a part of JIFU, all of its incredible products and services so you could just maximize what this bull market has left. So, what I'm going to do, everybody, is I'm going to just share my screen as I'm doing already. And since this is a basic training, I do want to start with the basics because I think it's going to really give a good, like, context to understanding everything. But I'd like to ask in the chat box anyways. I want you guys type a one if you own crypto, type a two if you don't own any cryptocurrency at all. I'd love to know. Just to kind of get a feel for the call, and I think it's going to be really good for everybody. All right, cool. I'm seeing more ones and twos. So, to my understanding, many of you don't own any crypto yet, which is super exciting. But it could also be a little daunting, right? Not knowing what to do, where to buy, how to get involved. And I'll start with that. So, for those of you guys that don't know me, I've been in the cryptocurrency space since 2016. Every time I just look at Bitcoin's price, it blows me away. I was very young when I first saw Bitcoin. It was like I saw Bitcoin at 2014 when it was $400. And I'd love to know for those of you here on the call, like when was the first time you saw Bitcoin? And it was probably not the same time you bought it, right? Some of you guys probably saw it earlier than me. Maybe some of you guys saw it at 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 20,000. Irrelevant of what the number was. Look, Mario saw it early, 3,000. Zaz saw it at 10. Richard saw it at 3 back in 2014, 2013. 10. Yeah, I always ask, and sometimes it's crazy. I've literally met people that have seen it in the single digits, double digits, and it's crazy. And the reason I asked that question is because you might have seen it, but the lack of education or somebody else's ignorance, or maybe even yours, caused you not to take action, right? Because a $3,000 investment, for example, like what could have been for Richard, would be $119,000. Like Bitcoin's been the highest performing asset class in the history, period. Especially the last decade. There's no other place that has outperformed cryptocurrency in the last 10 years. And maybe you just don't understand it. Maybe it doesn't click. Maybe you're saying it's too late. And I'm going to answer all these questions. I think that more and more people are getting educated about crypto. And I think the biggest myth really is that, hey, am I too late, Nick? Did I miss the boat? Bitcoin's already at 119. I mean, there's no way. Well, let me explain something to you. Only 5% of the world, okay? Only 5% of the world own cryptocurrency. I'll say it one more time. Only 5%. So would you say that there's obviously a lot of opportunity and room for growth? Of course. Crypto, the goal of it in an essence of its entire industry is to one day become that digital currency that everybody uses at your grocery store, supermarket, convenience store, etc., day-to-day transaction. And we're still very far from that specific goal. So again, 5% of the world only has crypto. So there's a lot of room. Maybe in that room, it's not Bitcoin specific that has the opportunity, but there are okay, and let me get over here. There's literally over outside of Bitcoin, according to this website, over 19 million different cryptocurrencies. When I first started crypto, it was a little bit easier. There was only like 250 coins. Now, I mean, I kid you not, everybody, there's like 1,000 coins launching every single day because it's so easy to make. Anybody here on the call, in 45 minutes, we could launch our own crypto, but it doesn't mean it's going to go up in price. Now, the reason even Bitcoin has gone up, as you guys can see this whopping percentage, I mean, I've never seen an ROI like that in my life. But again, anything that would go from one penny to $119,000, that's what that looks like. And the reason this has gone up, it's a simple concept, everybody, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a mathematician or a genius to know that our money is losing its purchasing power every single year. Statistically, it's actually losing its purchasing power is losing every single year at 3 to 4%. That means that money in the bank is technically losing 3 to 4% of its value. Give you guys an example. Think about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Think about when your parents or your grandparents or your great grandparents, they brought property in dollars or in euros or in a different currency. What was the amount back then? Like I always hear like the 60s, like people were buying Corvettes for $3,000, $4,000, homes for like 15,000, 20,000. And for most of us in our lifetime, we've probably seen what $100 could buy 10 years ago to what it can today. And what's that money has gone through something called inflation because at least the dollar here in most countries around the world, they do not have a limit to our dollar or the reproducing of the dollar. So that means there's no limit. And of course, they could just reprint it and reprint it. And as more money is put out, technically speaking, the less that it potentially has purchasing power up. So Bitcoin has gone so high, everybody, because it has a limit. And it was created by math, algorithms, and no president, person of power, government entity, no brain genius can change the amount of supply, counterfeit, or change anything about Bitcoin. There will only ever be, if you want to learn anything today, and it's just all going to click in the future, there will only ever be 21 million coins for Bitcoin, period. 21 million. There are more millionaires active in the world right now than how many Bitcoins there are right now. And the craziest thing about that is there's already been 19.9 million Bitcoins created and owned and circulating in the market. So that means there's only 1 million Bitcoins left to be minted and owned. So that's why you're seeing the giants, Fidelity, BlackRock, Tesla, countries like El Salvador. Everybody is literally fighting over these last million Bitcoins. Because the projection that a lot of people have is that Bitcoin could one day be 250,000, $500,000, $1 million, etc. So I hope you understood a little bit now of what like Bitcoin represents. It's a deflationary asset, and the purpose of it is to fight inflation, but create a currency that we all can use and no bank, government, anybody has any control over your money or asks why you want to send money to A to B. I don't know if anyone's ever bought a car or a home or sent a wire transfer. It could take days when it's just digits from one bank to another. Or you get like a full-on interview by the banker as to why you're sending your own money anywhere. Try going to the bank and pulling out, your entire savings. Majority of them don't even have that cash in hand. So the banking system is obviously in the Stone Age, and cryptocurrency is fighting that. It's creating a new revolution of digital currency. And the most powerful thing about it is, regardless of what generation you participate in, you know, currently we're in the midst of this opportunity. And, every generation has different opportunities. I would say back in the day, you have your railroad, your steel, your farming, your early real estate, your dot-com bubble, the stock bubble, but now it's digital businesses and digital currencies. That's literally what I would say. I mean, social media, all of that is literally this generation's big opportunity. And you're in front of that. So I've been doing these trainings for example, for a very long time. I mean, literally since 2016. And every single year we just see this thing grow and grow and grow. And this is a chart of literally Bitcoin since it was 1 penny. I mean, it's the proof is in the pudding, right? So now you're probably asking yourself, okay, Nick, I got the concept, but what's next? How does this work? What do I do? How do I take advantage? Well, I'm going to teach you a very simple concept, right? This has been happening since 2009. And this is called the 4-year cycle. Very simple concept to understand. And so far it's repetitive, so we're going to go off it until it changes. The market goes up 3 years, retraces 1 year, goes up 3 years, goes down 1 year, goes up 3 years, goes down 1 year. Very simple concept, all right? This has not changed or been any different since literally 2009. So the exciting part about this is we're in the middle and towards the end of our 3-year cycle. And this is typically when the market just loves to absolutely run. I mean, hence why you're seeing Bitcoin at an all-time high, Ethereum very soon at an all-time high, XRP very soon, again cracking a new all-time high. I mean, you're seeing something that's consistent, right? Coins right now are just going bananas. I mean, it's new highs and new highs and new highs. This brings opportunity. So you might be asking yourself, okay, Nick, but you're saying that there's not much room left, and I see this red box. That means maybe if this cycle repeats, we're going down. Sure. But we have about, I'd say 90 to around 200 days to take advantage of everything that's left if this repeats again of what the market brings. Now, I don't want to bring your eyes towards Bitcoin because let's say Bitcoin, I think pretty much our target's going to be for like the end of the cycle. I would say 130 is 150. So if you buy Bitcoin now at 119 and it goes to 150, that's 25%. However, I want to teach you something about a portfolio that in that same time span, in that same amount of time that Bitcoin will go from a 120 to 150, there will be coins that do 50%, 100%, 150%, 200% in that same amount of time. And these coins are called alternative coins, right? And some of these coins, for example, maybe some of you guys have heard them, or maybe some of you guys, I don't know, drop your favorite crypto in the chat for anyone that already owns some crypto, right? Like you got coins like XRP that were 50 cents 12 months ago. I'm gonna say it one more time. XRP was 50 cents 12 months ago. It's 320 today. Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken, like I kid you not, under 6 months ago, it was worth $1,400, and it's worth today $4,600. You have a coin like Solana that at the early stages of this bull market, it was $7. It went to 194. And Cardano, we shared with our students on our live session to get Cardano around 50 cents. And right now it's trading at 83, close to 100% return on investment just with that move. We shared Chainlink not so long ago at 10, 11, 12, $13. It's at 23. So you're getting the picture, right? So yes, Bitcoin is going to give us that thermostat. It's going to let us know, for example, how strong the market is. But our goal now is to find these cryptos that are going to have this next impulse back up. So for example, we called Cardano down here when it was 57 cents down here. Okay. And we're still looking for the possibility of Cardano to go to a dollar 25, a dollar 50. If Bitcoin goes to those targets, a lot of these cryptocurrencies are going to reach those specific levels. So what we do as, of course, a platform is we have our JIFU Connect app, right? So if you have the privilege, of course, of being on our platform, everybody, you have something called the JIFU Connect. And I'm going to share with you guys a couple things that we do so then, of course, you understand everything and you make the most of it, right? So first of all, we do something called day trading, all right? So many of you guys maybe have the JIFU Connect app, and maybe I don't know if anyone's already already following the crypto ideas, okay, which are leverage. I don't know if anyone in the chat or in the teams are already taking these ideas, but we're taking crypto leverage ideas. And these ideas, for example, everybody, I'm sending anywhere from 2 to 3 trades that I'm personally taking, and I send out. You could literally mirror and copy my positions. I'm sending 2 to 3 trades out a week. These are day trading positions that you could follow along. This I could literally show you guys the last trade that I sent. I think yesterday. I think I sent that yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So this was yesterday's trade. I called buys in the green box. To make it really simple, we were aiming for exit one, exit two, and exit three. And so far today, we've hit exit one, exit two, and the market's retracing. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see how the market plays out. It might give us another entry. So this is called, leverage trading. Like if anyone's ever, heard of the concept day trading, we do that in cryptocurrencies, and we give you guys access to an app where you could follow along with all, for example, my trades that I send on a week to week basis. And just to kind of go over results, I know off the top of my head, like my personal trades since April, I have 41 wins and 8 losses. So you can take advantage of the years of experience and me just mastering a strategy, for you to copy and learn that strategy. Meanwhile, of course, as you learn and grow. Now, the other thing that you could be doing, of course, outside of trading is just building that portfolio. This is literally more hands, less, it's not as hands-on. It's portfolio. The cool thing about it, everybody, is you just have to buy the right asset at the right time and just manage the exit, manage the plan. Many people buy right, but they don't know how to sell right. Some people don't create plans on how to exiting positions or know which coins to potentially get involved with. And in our portfolio, everybody, also on our JIFU Connect app, you guys are now going to start seeing portfolio ideas. So here, you guys are going to now get ideas for portfolio positions that we are currently seeing. And at the same time, in our live sessions, we're covering opportunities in all these different coins that we're looking at. Give you guys an example. I mean, just to kind of give you literally recent, portfolio ideas that I've been giving to all of our students, and you could literally jump on our session. So if you're not following of like what our session is, let me go over here, and for example, you log in. Um, Over here, you go to the sessions, you go to crypto, and I'm doing 3 sessions a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I highly recommend, if you want to master portfolios and really understand portfolios in crypto, Curtis Cobain does an incredible job. He goes live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. And then, of course, you have Daniel Lopez, who obviously is an incredible at what he does, both sending ideas and looking at portfolios. And you guys have him Tuesdays and, of course, Thursdays. So you jump on these sessions, right? And what we're covering, I'm just literally going to share with you guys the last portfolio positions that I shared with our students. We called, for example, longs here at 70 cents for Cardano 11 days ago, and it's already netted us potentially 19% or 19 points, right? So I hope you're getting now that there's a lot of opportunity in these altcoins, because if Bitcoin goes to 150, that's 25%, but that might take a whole 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Right now, these altcoins are giving us incredible movements. Chainlink, for example, we were in Chainlink all the way from back here at $12. In 43 days, it's netted 86%. Y'all with me? Right now we were looking at Ondo not too long ago. For example, we got involved in Ondo here at 75 cents, everybody. Our targets are still to see $2, which could net potentially 191%. But I'm showing you that A, you're early. B, you just need to get plugged in, use the services, use the products, understand what it is that you're really looking at, and make the most of it, everybody. Because right now it's like the crypto craze, right? But you have to take advantage of it, know what you're getting involved in, know how to strike a plan. The beautiful thing of these live sessions is that you guys literally get to ask questions. We have hundreds and hundreds of people on these sessions, but we are able to ask questions, get them answered live by all these incredible educators. And we're walking you through these ideas. We're literally letting you know, hey, listen, we're taking off some risk on, for example, ADA, or hey, we're closing our XRP trade. So we're like sharing with you, in essence, our analysis, but we're also walking you through the idea. So this makes, in my opinion, really simple for you to be able to follow along. This is another idea that I shared recently. I think it was literally last week. To add to the portfolio is a coin called SUI. I really like the level of 350. And for example, in 5 days, just to show you what crypto does and how it moves. In 14 days, it netted us 14% on our money, right? If you would have followed along. So you could have taken that on your portfolio or on leverage ideas. There's a lot of opportunity. Obviously, there's risk as well, obviously involved in any financial markets. But we teach you how to mitigate that, how to correctly build a plan, how to correctly use a stop loss, because I know everything I'm sharing right now is like rainbows and flowers and everything. But of course, there are losses. And of course, sometimes the market turns on you, but it's totally normal if you know what you're doing, you have a plan, you know how to accept losses, and you build on those wins that you let compound. Because of course, everything could happen in the market tomorrow. God forbid, some crazy news event happens and the market has corrections. However, what if I told you that since we're trading, it doesn't matter if the market goes up or down or down or chops or sideways. In trading, you can make money up or down. So that's what gets exciting, right? When we now know that this cycle, this 4 year cycle that we talked about, is wrapping up, is ending, is getting close to its end. Well, guess what, everybody? Once we start getting into that red box, what are we going to be doing? We're going to exit our portfolio positions and we're going to be shorting the market all the way down until it decides to finally find a new floor to push right back up in the next following 4 years. So there's so much opportunity, everybody. I would just say if you're a part of JIFU, take advantage of what you have. If you don't have access to it, kind of look at yourself and be like, look, there's clearly opportunity here. I'm not here to sell you anything. I mean, I think the market in itself has proven, what opportunity it is. I think just like, for example, when I was first getting involved in trading, I just needed a plan. I just needed to know that I was going to be a part of a system, part of a team. I was going to have guidance. And that's what you have with number one, this incredible team that you guys are a part of here with Oscar and Juan Diego. And then also with this incredible company, you have the community. And at the same time, you have the educators who have been there, done that, have, of course, the results and are here to guide you every single step of the way, whether the market goes up or down. So, everybody, I don't want to bombard you with too much info, especially if this is basic. I hope you guys learned a lot. And for those of you guys that do have, of course, JIFU Live and have access to this platform, I hope to see a lot of you guys on tomorrow. For example, I have a session. If you guys enjoyed what you guys learned today, tomorrow I have a session in the morning. So I'd love to see you guys in the AM. And yeah, everybody, besides that, it was a pleasure as always. If you guys speak Spanish, we'll be doing another call, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with Juan Diego on Thursday. But other than that, I will see you guys all on the next call, and I'll pass it back to you, Oscar. It was a pleasure, my brother.
Nick, all right, Nick, thank you very much, brother. Thanks a lot. Let's drop some love. Let's drop some gratefulness, family, on the chat, because if you got to hear the quality of information in the different sites, because some people say like, crypto is only about buying the coin and holding, and I think it's kind of late for me. The trading side is just being amazing. Actually, I was checking my phone. I opened up the browser. It's crazy, and it said have trading view over there, and it says like the last price that I saw haven't reloaded. So the last price is like Ethereum, $3,770. And if you get into the chart right now, we're looking at numbers like 4,600. And I opened that chart, I don't know, Friday, right? So I just want to share before we leave some of the results that we had on the previous month. So let me just share my screen over here. because Nick didn't share this information. He's really humble, as you can see. So he doesn't need to show up. He doesn't need to tell everyone how much money he's doing, but he's making a good amount of results of money, and this is why. Check the ideas that we had on July. We had 13 ideas, 13 trades. 10 of them were completed. Only 3 were incomplete. This past week we were 2-0, 2 trades, 2 wins, right? 0 losses. So this is just I just wanted to know, this is an expert that we're working with, like expert level, consistently trading these numbers. I would say, at least that I remember, for over the past like 4 years, numbers like this, right? So don't miss out on the opportunity. It's always, if you're already trading Forex and more, this is a great way to diversify, take your profits, build a portfolio. Other thing that I've seen is that inside the academy, you get so much depth on information that you can see projects that haven't even launched yet, right? So you can enter on really like launch prices for many projects that have future, that governments are working with, that institutions are working with, right? So we've got plenty of information over here in JIFU. If you're new, if you want to learn about this, get to the person who invited you to this call and just clear all the questions that you have. You already saw an insight of the platform. Here are some of the results on the trading side. And what can I tell you? Darwin used to say that in evolution, the thing that goes on is you either adapt to the change or you just collapse, right? So we're living on an era of parabolical changes, exponential changes within short time spaces. So the change that we're about to see, you gotta get ready. You gotta get ready, and this is the information. So I just leave you with that. Super grateful for everyone that got together. It's really important, fam, if we want to have more of these calls with traders, educators, just like the one we had today. Let's promote these calls. If you're new and just wanted to share this information with someone else, we're going to be having constantly these calls where you can learn a little bit more. But this is just tipping toes on the ocean that is this world. So happy Tuesday, everyone. See you in the next one, and grateful for you all. Have a good one.